Hello, girlies, I'm back. And do you notice anything new? Tell me. My new headphones? Yeah. Anyway, I bought these headphones for myself. And my last video, or my last video? I was thinking, or I was talking about how I was going to manifest some new headphones, girl, because my old ones were broke. And I really thought maybe they're just going to come to me. But I had to buy them. But the thing is that I have money, right? And so I would, okay, obviously, but I kind of like, I'm still working around things with money. And so I was kind of like, I have all this money, but I don't really spend it because I guess I was scared that if I let go of the money, I wouldn't get it back. But the whole point of me is I always make back the money that I spend. So it's like, why are you not spending money? Why are you just keeping it? What is it doing there? That's just energy sat doing nothing. And so I was like, you know what? I really have been wanting these new headphones. And these Five Below, not doing it. These were not doing it. I can't charge my phone at the same time as playing my music. What the freak is that? Anyway. So then I bought my headphones. And what happens? The next day, I make back every single freaking cent that I spent on these headphones. Are you kidding me? Because every time I spend money, girl, I get it back. So, not to encourage you to spend that money, but spend the money and just don't be scared that's not going to come back. Because why would it not? You know? Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about something with y'all because I came to some conclusions that really helped me. And I did, like, this was a very, 3 a.m. realization, girl. And so I wrote it down. So if you see me looking down, just know it's because all my notes, they're my notes. All right? Excuse that. My dad's watching the UFC fights. So you're going to have to hear that while I'm talking. Oh my God. Anyway, so what if I crash out because I hate how loud it fucking is? What if I fucking start crashing out everywhere? What if I start crashing out everywhere? I don't know. I'm in a new location, so y'all are gonna have to hear the echo and the washing machine, but at least you won't hear UFC screams in the background. Anyways, guys, so I'm here to share with you something that I realized that's probably gonna change your life if you actually pay attention. No shade at all, but I know with social media and everything, our attention spans have gone from here down here. That's okay. That's why my videos are like 30 minutes long every video. Not on purpose, but I just talk a lot. So here is the gist that you need to understand before I explain everything. Whatever you decide will ultimately, now stick with me, girl. Everything that you decide will ultimately always happen. So if you decide that you want to be a millionaire and you're like, you know what? I'm going to be a millionaire. If you want to be a famous YouTuber, if you want to be a model, girl, if you want to be a CEO and you decide it, that's what's going to happen. But the thing is that you will and can get in your own way. Now look, what happens, this is how it all works. Everything around you, you have created. And you're like, what do you mean I created? Like, I didn't make this phone, I just bought it. Right. Here's how it goes. The physical, the 3D world on this earth, maybe you didn't create this phone, but someone else created it. The only way and reason that this phone is a part of your life is because you brought it into your life. You have created this in your own reality. Understand that if you can. Now, here's how the world works. Everyone is a soul. Your mama is her own soul. Your father's his own soul. Your friend is their own soul. Your dog has a soul. The trees outside your house have a soul. You are a soul. But right now, and everything that you see, every single day, every single experience, everything is your own reality. And that will never look the same as your mom's or your friends or your dogs or that trees or your dad's. okay? They all create everything in their own reality too. So everyone is creating things in their own reality, and you're like, but we live the same life, we live in the same house, we see the same things every day, we go do the same stuff. How is it our own reality? Girl, the only reason you can interact with your mama and your papa is because you create the version of them that will benefit you the most. Because everything that happens on this world is to benefit you. Even if it means getting slapped in the face by a car. It's true. It's true and it sucks, but it's true. Why? Because we create everything. Because we are a fragment of Source, and Source is God, right? We are a fragment of God, which means that we are God living on this earth. And I've said this multiple times. But since we are God, and what is God? God is everything and all that there ever was. And so we are God experiencing itself. We are God experiencing everything while at the same time we are everything. So we can create everything and call everything in because we are everything. So whatever you decide will always happen because you create your world. And what this means is that, let's go back to the examples. Let's start with famous YouTuber, right? If you decide that you're a famous YouTuber and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be a famous YouTuber, that's what's gonna happen. You don't start worrying about, well, what about if nobody watches my videos or likes my videos? Well, what happens if I don't find enough time to record videos? What happens if I have to pay rent and I decide to just go all in on this? Why are you worrying about that? Did you not just decide that you're a famous YouTuber? When you decide something, you become it, okay? We're about to play Delulu Actorville in this hoe. You must act as what you decide. That's how it goes. Even if it feels fake. So if you decide that you're a famous YouTuber, but you're over there worrying about how many views you're gonna get, is that something a famous YouTuber would do? Is that something that you would envision for yourself as a YouTuber, to be worrying about if this video is gonna get any views? No, you just post the video because you already know it's gonna get views, because you know it's gonna blow up, because you know you're a famous YouTuber. Do you get it? Now the thing is that you will and you can get in your own way when you're deciding these things. So you're like, well, what do you mean? How do I get in my own way? If I decide if I want it, isn't it gonna happen? Yes, girl, I just said that. But you get in your own way by letting those little thoughts, those little clouds of those little mini chocolate chips of doubt that pop up in your brain that is a cookie, random, that are like, well, what if you don't get any views? Well, what if, this happens? The thoughts of doubt, worry, and fear. Doubt, worry, and fear are never your own. Let's just start with that. Whenever you think of something, let's say prospective famous YouTuber, if I'm like, you know what? Frick it all. I'm just going all in. I am a famous YouTuber. I'm just going to keep posting like I'm a famous YouTuber, making these ideas, because everything will happen for me. Do you understand that when you decide something, that's all that can happen? That is all that can happen. So for me, if I'm deciding I'm going to be a famous YouTuber and I'm like, well, what about the time? What about the views? What about the money? What about this, and that? Girl, if you decide that you're a famous YouTuber, everything will have to work and come together for that to be true for you. So when you're worrying about the time, why are you worrying about it? If you decided that you're a YouTuber already, or if you decided whatever you are, the money is going to come in. The money is going to come in. The views are going to come in. The partnerships are going to come in. Everything that you need to be this is going to happen for you. You do not need to do anything but continue acting as what you choose and what you decide. So if you decide you want to be a famous YouTuber, but then you're like, yeah, but I don't really know about how many views I'm going to get. Maybe this one might flop. That's what's going to happen. That's literally what's going to happen. It's going to flop. You're not going to get views because you're literally being like, well, yeah, I am a famous YouTuber, but also, what do you mean, but also? If you know you're a famous YouTuber, there's no also. There's no what if. There's no but what? But shush, girl, shush. That's all. Like, if you want it to be, you must allow it. So if I want to be a millionaire, I have to allow myself to be a millionaire. And what does that mean? That means every time I'm going to pay for something, every time I look at my banking apps, I look in my wallet, and maybe there's not $1,000,000 or it's not as much as I'd like it to be. Or if I'm looking cumulatively and I'm like, this doesn't look like $1 million. What did I already decide? That I am a millionaire. So what's going to happen is that it is all going to come in. And here's how you can allow yourself to do this. So when it comes to the doubts and the fear and the worry that happens in your brain, it's literally just your physical body creating things with your human brain. Because we're not our brain, we're not our body. I am not my body, not my mind, not my brain, not my thoughts or feelings, I am not my DNA. You are the witness, the observer of life. You literally live in the space between the stars and the sky. Can you guys listen to Modern Dreams in an Ancient Land? Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land by Marina. She's literally giving y'all the secret sauce. Come on. Anyway. So what happens is that we are just a consciousness. We are the awareness that is. We are our five senses. We are the touch, the taste, the smell, the hearing, the feeling, the seeing. We are just our five senses, which is what awareness is, right? So our human body will create these thoughts to try and get us to be like, nah. They literally are kind of our enemy. Your thoughts are never your own. That's what I say. You are just the awareness of your thoughts. So if you get a thought that's like, jump off the ledge, are you the thought or are you just the thing that noticed the thought? Do you know what I'm talking about? You are just simply noticing that thought, but you didn't make it. Obviously, you don't want to jump over the freaking ledge. I hope. But when you decide that, okay, you know what? I want to travel the world. Boom. You're going to travel the world. But then when those little doubts, worries, and fears creep up that are like, how are you going to afford it? How are you going to space it out? How are you going to work and do this at the same time? What you have to do is catch it and be like, hold on, who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? Like, get out of here. Literally, you have to be like, how are you going to afford traveling the world? Oh. What do you mean, how am I going to afford traveling the world? Why would I even worry about that? Literally, you have to be like, why would you even say that? Like, why would I even have to worry about where the money's going to come from? Why would I even have to worry about that? Because when you decide something, you don't have to worry about everything else. Do you think a millionaire sits around being like, oh my God, I wonder if I have enough money to go buy my groceries. I wonder if I have enough money to buy this plane ticket. No. They are just like, all right. And you may be like, but they're a millionaire. Like, yeah, girl, but it's also mindset. You think that they started off like, you think they made $1 million while they were thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to afford this. No. They made that $1 million by thinking, you know what? I already decided I'm a millionaire. I don't care. I don't care about anything else. I have to be a millionaire because you are having the fact that you are a millionaire. You know, right? You know what I mean? Everything you want, you get. So why would you have to worry about how? Do you understand that in your body, like your soul and everything is literally like the strongest magnet in the world? But the funny, cool little thing is that you decide what you want to pull in. And you can decide what you want to push out. You are your own self-working magnet, okay? Period. Okay, so when it comes to actually, you're listening to the first part of what I just said, okay? And you're like, you know what? You're right, I am the creator of my reality. I do decide whatever I want. Because here's a little thing. If you're deciding that you want to be, let's say you want to be a content creator, and you want to be like a top tier, like money making, everything you want to do, you get paid from it, basically, kind of content creator. But then you're also like, yeah, I'm a content creator, but you're just like letting how things look affect you. You're like, yeah, but like my last video only got like 15 likes. So maybe I won't post today. Listen, now I'm saying if just for you to get it through that pretty little head of yours. But an if does not exist. It either is or it is not. So let's say this. If you are, if you are a content creator, the content creator that you envisioned in your head, right? That you envision yourself to be, would you be like, I'm not going to post today because, no, girl, you're going to be posting your content. You're not going to be caring because you already know what it's going to do for you. You already know that you're the content creator. So then why are you doing actions for someone that you're not? If you're a content creator, why would you be sitting there thinking about posting something and then just not post it? Like, you are a content creator. Go post your content. What are you doing? Like, what do you understand what I mean? You must do the things that you would do if you were a content creator, because you are a content creator. Do you understand? Do you understand that once you decide, it must be, and it is. So right now, if you decide that you are a content creator, you post that video, you are a content creator. Bring this ish into your reality, okay? And it doesn't matter how it looks. It literally doesn't matter how it looks, because how things look is not the truth. How things look is not the truth. It's not real. Everything is delayed. And I don't think you understand, because time is not real. Time is not linear, darling. Okay. So what does that mean? Time's not real. That it doesn't matter how long something takes or how short something takes. Time is not real. Time does not exist. It only exists down here in this earthly realm, but it doesn't actually even exist on this earthly realm. It was just created. So, let me tell you right now. We live on a planet Earth, if you were aware. This Earth is very dense. Y'all know the middle of the Earth has that gravity, like the gravitational pull, the center pulls everything down. With it pulling everything down, think of it like this. The Earth is so dense, and if you don't know what that means that everything basically works in slow motion here. Because what happens? You are your higher consciousness, okay? You live in the space between the stars and the sky. And what happens, whatever you think, whatever you decide, must be here on this earth, because you are occupying this earthly body, which means that everything you choose will be here, where you are. So what does that mean? That means, since you already decided, the earth is pulling, the gravitational pull is literally pulling that thing into you. But since the earth is so dense, it works so slowly, okay? So of course things are gonna take some time. It's not your fault. It's not the universe's fault. It's literally just the fact that the earth is dense and we work in slow-mo. Think of it like this. When you're like a little thirsty and you're like, oh, I'm thirsty, you basically already decided you're gonna go quench your thirst, right? You've already just thought, like, let me go get a cup of water. When you think, let me get a cup of water, are you instantly getting a cup of water right now? Like, as you're thinking it, is a cup of water in your hand? No, you're getting up to go get it. Why? Because we live in slow motion. The earth is in slow motion. But you still got the cup of water. The thing is that it takes a little bit of delay for that thought to transmute and transmit onto this earthly plane. Okay? So if I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a cup of water, maybe in another dimension, the cup of water would already be in my hand as soon as we thought about it. But because we thought about it and the gravitational pull is pulling it in, it's like, okay, I'm getting up to get water, but I already decided I was getting water. It must be. And so it was, and so you got the water. The only thing is that since the earth moves in slow motion to our higher consciousness, which is what we decide, which brings everything in, you got the cup of water maybe 15 seconds later, a minute later. Because the earth lives in slow-mo. So stop worrying about how it looks. What you decide must be, no matter what time it is, what day it is, when it is. Stop playing. Sorry. Got a little angry, but y'all need to listen. I really want you to create everything in your life. I want you to have everything you want, because you can. You literally can. And the fact that maybe you might think that you can't and you're like, I don't know. That's what they want you to think. You can create everything in your life. You decide everything, okay? So focus. Get on that meditation, girl. And meditating is literally, you can literally be sitting anywhere and just pay attention to what's happening around you. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste? Literally that's a form of meditation, because we only have the present moment. So once you're like fully engaged in the present moment, you're basically in like a peaceful meditative state, because you are living in the now, when the now is all we have. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, your thoughts aren't real. And at first, it can be really hard to decide, not even decide, but to like kick those thoughts away, because our brains are so cluttered, our minds are cluttered, you know, we're influenced. And so it's kind of hard to be in control of your mind. But it's not impossible. Whenever it pops up and it's festering, if you let that thing sit and fester in you, you are acting as someone you don't want to be. You know what I mean? You being the version of you want to be, that content creator, that millionaire who travels the world, who lives on a beautiful house. Would you be sitting there thinking, I don't know about that. What if I can't? No, girl, because you already have it. If you can envision it in your mind, you genuinely already have it. Things are delayed. So please allow yourself some grace and stop fiending for everything to look how you think it's going to look, because it will look however it's supposed to look when it is finally transmuted onto the earth. But once you decide something, it's been decided. So then if you decided that you're going to be this millionaire, travel, baddie, content creator, and then a week and a month goes by after deciding, and then you start thinking, I don't know. You're literally choosing something different. You're delaying that content millionaire baddie status that you imagine. You're delaying it. Just ride it through, girl. Stop worrying, girl. Calm down, girl. Dance, girl. Sing, girl. Cry, sister. Smile, sister. Show your pride. Little young girl. Wait, will I get copyrighted for that? I love Cleo Soul. If y'all don't listen to her, listen to her. Calm your nervous system. Chillax. Stop worrying about how everything looks, and stop worrying about other people in your business. Because other people aren't even really real. They're just versions of them that you see to help expel you further into your life. Anyway, thoughts that you focus on, right? Since I said earlier, you are the pure awareness of everything. You are the only reason you're alive and living and can be on this earth is because you are the awareness of everything. You're aware of how things feel. You're aware of how things look. You're aware of how you hear, of what things sound like, of what things taste like, of what they smell like. That's why everybody is different, because you are just awareness. And so if you are just awareness, that means that you can choose what thoughts to focus on. And if you get the thoughts that are like, I'm doing so good. I am so beautiful. I am so smart. I am a content creator. My work is so creative. And I am worthy of it. You can focus on that instead of focusing on, maybe my content's not as good as others. Maybe I'm not this. Maybe I'm... Focus on what you want to focus on. So if you catch yourself dwelling on maybe this, maybe that, you better clock it, and you better clock yourself. Clock yourself, because you are going to push yourself further back like that. I also wanted to add this last little thing on here before I clock out, because I don't want to make it too long for y'all. I know your attention span's still being fixed in the moment. And if it's not and your attention span is up, good for you, girly. Anyway, I think I literally said this earlier, but you are the creator of your reality. And I know I say that so many times, you're like, I fucking get it. I'm the creator of my reality. Do you really? Do you really get it? Because when it comes to being the creator of your reality, you're maybe not gonna like to hear this, but every bad and good, mediocre, weird, uncomfortable, comfortable, fun, sad, mean, angry thing that you've gone through, every lesson you've learned, every single experience you've experienced, every single thing in your life you created, every journey, everything you created unconsciously, okay? You created that in your life to teach you something. For example, I'm gonna give y'all a little example, okay? I was a 2020 Hogwarts shift talker. Not a shift talker, but I was on that shift talk. Draco Malfoy candle was locked and loaded, lit up in my room. I was writing scripts, crazy scripts, putting them under my pillows, drinking 10 gallons of water a day, cleaning my room, doing my homework, laying in the starfish position, and counting to 100 while saying affirmations after every number during COVID. Okay? I was fully that girl. Yes, I was. And yes, I was going to get to Hogwarts somehow, some way. Which you literally can. Let me just say you literally can. Did I? No. But that doesn't mean you can't, okay? We're not going to get into my shifting experiences, okay? Because we don't need to. But that whole process lasted about 4 years because I was like, no, I can do it. I can do it. Like, I want to do this. I want to do this because I can. And now I'm at a point, okay, you can dog on reality shifting if you want, but that is just so real. It's so real and it's crazy, but it's not crazy. You're just made to think it's crazy, but it's really not. Anyway, so I went through the whole journey of reality shifting from 2020 up until 2024. And it was like, okay, I'm going through all these things, like trial and error, like, oh my God, I'm staying up till 3 a.m. to try and get to Hogwarts. You know what? That's just a whole experience in itself. That was a journey, a reality shifting journey. Throughout that journey, I got into manifestation, journaling, spirit guides. I literally got into all of that. And where did that take me? I created that experience for myself. I created the whole learning about reality shifting and trying to do it for 4 years. All for me to learn about manifestation and about spirituality and to be where I am today. Because without it, I would not be or know the things that I know today, right now, in this moment in time. So that just helped me evolve and grow. And I guess that's how I chose, like I literally chose that experience to grow as an individual and as a soul. So, for example, if you went through a horrible toxic relationship and you learned so many things about yourself, but you're still thinking, why did that happen to me? Why did I have to meet him? Why did he do these things to me? Why did that even happen? You're a better person now because of it, yes? Yeah, but so what? Girl, you're not gonna like to hear this, but your soul created that for you. Created that interaction with that person because y'all made contracts in the spirit realm where y'all were like, all right, we're gonna get in this relationship, but it's gonna be a horrible relationship because we're gonna push these lessons through. That's why your experience in it was so much different than the other person's experience because they had to learn things on their own from that while you're learning your own things from it too. So what this means is that the lessons you're learning are always going to end up being taught to you on this earth, but you choose how you're going to how you're going to experience the lessons. So you can either have chosen to, I don't know, being in toxic relationships until you learn your lesson, or from toxic workplace environments or toxic family environments until you learn the lesson of knowing your worth, right? So you create every single journey experience in your life, even if you want to hear that or not. I'm sorry, the bad things that happened to you, I'm so sorry, but you created them so that you can learn from them. And the reason that people, I don't want to say falter, but they don't end up becoming the best versions of themselves is because they let these experiences and the lessons that they created take control of them. They, instead of finding out why this happened or like what am I supposed to learn from this? How is this aiding me in my growth, right? What is this trying to teach me? They, instead of thinking that, think, why did this happen to me? Why me? Why did that happen? How come? Like, what did I do? They let it fester in a negative way, but things are only negative if you choose for it to be negative. Girl, there's been so many things that happened to me that were supposed to push me down and keep me down, but I was like, you know what? I don't really want that. So what was this supposed to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this? How am I supposed to grow? And what happens every time you sit, you journal, you meditate, you reflect, you just sit there, talk to yourself out loud, and you grow. And you understand. Once you finally start understanding and applying and noticing in your own life when little things happen that are usually gonna be like, what the fuck, why would they even say that to me, or like, why would they do that, you're immediately, instead of getting defensive, you're gonna be like, oh, why'd that happen, what was that for, like, what am I supposed to learn from that experience? Like, why did I set that up for myself? And maybe it sounds like a crazy way to think about things, but it's so true. Because every single thing is teaching you something, no matter what. No matter big, no matter small. And it just depends on how you look at it. Everything is your perspective because you are the perspective. Crazy thing to wrap your head around, but it's truesy. Anyway, baddies, I love you, love you, love you, love you so, so, so much. I hope this helped you. And let me know if it did. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if you don't. Love you, girlies. Bye. Create your own reality. Do whatever you want to do. Be whoever you want to be, because you literally can, because you create everything. You are the creator of your reality. You are God on earth, an angel on earth. So you can have and do anything you want. So do it. Bye.